Greetings, Ram Hotep, coming back with another video on breaking free from the Matrix, part part two. In part one, I talked about a few things that I want to kind of go more in depth in part two. The first thing I want to address is, and this is all based on questions that were asked of me. Keep in mind, for those of you that watch my videos know that I will do my best as a servant to the people to answer your questions pertaining to any topics regarding metaphysics, the occult, spirituality, things of that nature. That's what I do. So in part one, I talked about how the key to breaking free from the Matrix is to withdraw and to take away one's energy from the Matrix, to stop putting your energy into the Matrix. And I had someone ask me a really good question. They were a college student. They asked me, should I drop out of college since breaking free from the... First they asked me, is college a part of the Matrix? And the next question was, should I drop out of college? Now people, I'm here to tell you, you're your own master, your own guide, your own spiritual guru. Therefore, I cannot tell you what to do as far as how you are to go about breaking free from the Matrix. I can't tell you those things. Why? Because I don't have your life. I'm not you. You see? And I would be wrong if I was to tell you exactly what to do. Now, I can introduce you to concepts and principles, which is what I strive to do in this video. But to really answer your question about my views as far as education in relationship to the Matrix and college in relationship to the Matrix, I'll say this. Most people that are going to college, for the most part, are going to college so they can get a job. I mean, you just got to keep it real with yourself. Most people that are going to college are doing this under the guise of one day graduating and going into the corporate world or going into the work world or the labor world and finding a good paying job. And this is why most people are going to college, for a job. Has nothing to do with education. And furthermore, for those students who aren't equipped to know how to do this, furthermore, the professors in college mainly program you. They're not educating you. There's a big difference between education and programming. So they're mainly programming you. Now I'll say this, for an enlightened individual who has his or her third eye open, the eye of Heru, or the eye of Ra, who has the eye of Ra or their third eye open, and they enroll into a university, they will know how to extract information from the university that will help them on their life path and their life journey. Some people's life journeys and life paths lead them to college, and they have to get an education in a university. That's a part of some people's life paths and life journeys, is going to college to get certain things and certain educational tools that they may not be able to get in the world. But what I will say is this, on another level, and know this. I'm not telling you to drop out of college, but just know this. There's nothing that you can't learn that they teach in college that you can't learn outside the university. The textbooks that they offer inside of the colleges and universities can be bought by anybody. You can go to the same bookstore and buy these textbooks. And you can save money by not having to enroll into the programming system or the so-called educational system of the university. So you can learn anything based on purchasing a textbook, and not only that, but taking outside classes that may not cost you as much money to learn and fine tune your skills that will help you on your life path. But here's the problem: most people don't know their life path. They don't know their mission in life and their purpose in life. So they're struggling with that. They've never got a natal reading done, so they don't know their mission in life. Your mission in life is in your solar biological blueprint, which is called your astrology reading or your natal reading. Your mission in life is right there in there. Now, if you've got a reading from me, it may not be spelled out like this is your mission in life, but if you read it and read it over and over again, you'll see what your mission in life is. And if you need a consultation to further go into your mission and purpose in life, I suggest you get a consultation. But I'll say this: don't get a consultation expecting me to guide you every step of the way and discovering your mission in life, because I tell people what I feel like their mission in life is, but many times people just want to hear it and they don't want to take the necessary steps to fulfill it. So that's what I would say about as far as education. I mean, you have to know your mission in life, which will help you to know whether or not you should drop out of college, or if you should not go to college at all. That's totally really up to you. You have free will, beloved. Your liberty begins where my free will ends, meaning that I cannot impose my free will on you. Now, secondly, I want to point out, I talked about working with the elements in video 1. And I talked about how making offerings to your ancestors and to your ancestral forces was the key to breaking free from the matrix. And I spoke of how the elements and the elemental deities were your ancestors. And you have to form alliances with them by making offerings to the elemental deities. And many people have asked me, well, how do I make offerings to the elemental deities? There are 4 main elemental deities: air, fire, water, and earth. And these 4 elemental deities link directly into your 4 higher gifts. You see, once you activate your 4 higher gifts, you will be blessed to be able to communicate with these higher ancestors. And once you make offerings to these 4 elemental ancestors, you will be blessed to get in tune with your gifts. There are 4 gifts that you have: intuition, psychometry, telepathy, and clairvoyance. And these 4 gifts link directly into the 4 elements: fire, air, earth, water. So when you work with the elementals, it's a dual process. You work with them and they reveal to you. They reveal to you and you work with them. So it's reciprocal. It's a constant progress. It's always a constant work in progress. And you make offerings to the fire deities by burning candles. That's a great way. That's the first way, by learning how to work properly with candles. You make offerings to the air deities by wind chimes. Wind chimes are really good in working with the air deities. Working with your breath is another good way. You make offerings to the water deities by putting water in the various points on your altar or in your house. You put water there. Going close to the water, going to the beach if you're close to a beach. Working with the water in the beach. Bathing. The Egyptians out here used to bathe 5 times a day. 5 times a day the Egyptians would bathe. 5 times a day. They were working with the water deities. That's why they were doing this. The earth deities. You work with the earth deities by gardening, walking outside barefooted. Yes, I said barefooted. See, most of us don't want to connect with nature. We're scared of it. And this is why we're not having success in breaking free from the matrix, because we aren't getting revealed the information based upon the elemental deities to the right information to learn how to break free. And we're eating the wrong foods and putting the wrong things inside of us and putting man-made chemicals inside of us. And this is why we're not having success in breaking free. And we're not successful in our spiritual warfare. So I hope this helps. I hope this video helps. This is part 2 to breaking free from the matrix. I will do a video on the 4 higher senses and show you the connection that they have with the elements in another video. I appreciate you watching this video. If you want me to do a part 3, if you have any questions in regards to a part 3, shoot me an email at 13signsastrology@gmail.com. Have a prosperous one. Peace and love.